So, last time on my Pokemon adventures, I went into the Viridian Forest to capture the non-evolved version of one of my randomized Pokemon, Beedrill, and defeated Brock in his gym to get the Boulder Badge. If you want to see that video, I'll probably put it in like a card or something above that you can click on. And without further ado, I'm gonna continue my journey. Also, no one mentioned that you couldn't capture any of the bells, in this Pokemon FireRed. So I decided to randomize one more random Pokemon to take its place on a team, and I ended up getting Rhydon. So here's a map of the Pokemon I need to capture and their locations. So on my way to Cerulean City, I got some running shoes, and I faced many trainers on the way. And with all that battling, I was able to evolve Cutie Pie into an Ivysaur. And yeah, Barry got some XP as well. I then made it to Mount Moon. So I bought a whole bunch of repels because I didn't really need to capture anything here, and I just wanted to exit the cave to get to the next destination. So I was able to run through the cave, avoiding all trainers until I got up to here. And honestly, if Team Rocket wants these fossils, they can keep them because, none of those are part of my randomized team. And the fact that I have a limited amount of Pokemon, I really do not like Zubat or just any Pokemon that causes confusion to my team. I was able to finally get some hits in, and of course, as soon as I snap out of confusion, Zubat confuses me once again. So I switched to Cutie Pie to finish it off without me losing Barry, and realized soon enough that was also a bad idea.
Stop it. Get some help.
But despite the confusion, Cutie Pie pulled through and defeated the Zubat. And yeah, I also picked up a Dome Fossil. So I finally made it to Cerulean City and even found out where to get the Jinx from this guy right here. So he wanted me to trade a Poliwhirl, which, I would, if I had one. I then had my next trainer battle against this loser. And I realized that my team isn't the best against a few of his Pokemon. So I made sure to use Sleep Powder, cause, they can't hurt me if they're asleep. After taking out those two, the rest were easy, and I was able to defeat my rival with just my two Pokemon. And it was time for me to cross the Nugget Bridge. Nothing too exciting happened during these battles, but I did fight against a Bellsprout that I wish I could have caught. But I'm also glad that I won't have two grass types on my team. I got to the end of the Nugget Bridge and received a nugget. Yep, I received a nugget at the end of Nugget Bridge. I also went to Bill's place, and I wish you could say no to helping him and somehow still get a ticket, but you can't. Delusion of choice. I received the tickets to the SSN and continued on my journey of collecting a select few of Pokemon. But before I leave the town, I gotta beat Misty and get a new badge. And yeah, something tells me this won't be too bad. I was debating whether to show the real time of this battle or not, but I decided to keep it all in, cause why not? So she summoned out Staryu, and I had Cutie Pie. And I just spammed a whole bunch of, grass attacks cause they're super effective. And down goes Staryu. So yes, here's me getting some XP that, is always helpful. Then Misty sends out Starmie, and I was like, does this Pokemon have an ability that could confuse me? Cause that would suck. Especially since it was faster than me. But it didn't confuse me, and I don't know if it has that ability. And unlike the other Pokemon that I've been kind of swifting through, I had to use 2 attacks on it, which, that kind of sucks, but they're super effective, and the battle was won pretty quickly. Cutie Pie was able to grow a level, and I was able to defeat Leader Misty with only one of my 2 Pokemon. I got the Cascade badge, and now I'm able to use the ability Cut. On my way to the next town, I avoided some trainers and I ended up finding others. And let me tell y'all, having a team with a bug and grass type makes flying types one of my biggest ops. And so many trainers have a Pidgey or a Sparrow on their team, so I made it to Vermilion City, which means I'm one step closer to getting my third Pokemon, I think. Ended up going to the SSN and got the infamous trash can potion. And fought against various trainers, and most of them were defeated by Cutie Pie because, you know, super effective and whatnot. I even fought against my rival and took down some of the biggest ops of typing right now is flying. And, you know, fire type also really sucks too. I eventually got the TM from Cut from the sailor guy right here. And was back to Vermilion City to continue my journey. Alright, time to bring up another rule for the challenge. I know this one isn't the most fun to add in, but I'm gonna allow myself to capture a Pokemon for the sole purpose of using TMs. I only put this down because, you know, I didn't want any of my valuable Pokemon on my team to have Cut as one of their attacks. I also enjoy the TM that gives you Fly, and I wasn't sure if the Pokemon randomizer would, you know, randomize a Pokemon that had that ability. So I caught an Oddish and taught it the ability Cut. And of course I named Oddish Cut, because that is his sole purpose in life, is just to use Cut. I eventually made it to Rock Tunnel, and I relied on a YouTube video to help me navigate through the dark environment. Not much happened here, well, except Cutie Pie evolved into a Venusaur, so that was cool. I then made it to Lavender Town and was one step closer to catching my next Pokemon. Right? I didn't stay long and decided to go to another city while battling trainers along the way. I then made it to Celadon City and was greeted by this really nice Team Rocket member. Also battled this grunt that was guarding a poster that had a switch to lead down to this rocket layer, but I ignored that at first. Cause...
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
And after losing my life's earnings, I decided to check out the rocket hideout a bit. And the place is really huge, so I only collected a few things from the first floor, and then I went out to explore more of the cities around me. So I went to see how far left I could go, and my path was blocked by the Snorlax. I was able to access this area on Route 16, and that led me to this girl that gave me the TM for Fly, which I like to use. So I went right out to capture this duo with only one purpose for the team, to fly. So I gave Fly the ability to fly, but it turned out I couldn't use it because I didn't have the right badge yet, so I was like, oh, I must be missing something. And with a quick Google search, I found that I needed to defeat Lieutenant Sarge, who was in Vermilion City. Forgot to do that. So I sent Duo to his future permanent home. And while I headed to the gym, I noticed that there was a tree blocking the way. Even though I bought Cut with me, they didn't participate in any of the fights. They were just there to cut the tree at the entrance. And after what felt like forever, I found both the switches to turn off the electric gate to finally be able to defeat this gym leader. And yeah, Lieutenant Sarge is an interesting person, you know? He's an electric type gym leader, and he talked about how his Pokemon paralyzed people during the war, and I was like, wait, are there Pokemon that have committed war crimes? Comment below which Pokemon you think would commit a war crime, because, you know, I'm really not sure, but, you know, just really curious about this topic. So, fighting Lieutenant Sarge wasn't bad. So, neither Berry or Cutie Pie had super effective attacks, but, you know, they are also pretty overleveled to be here. And with the move Focus Power, the crits are really doing their stuff. So, Berry sweeps this gym with Twin Needles and Fury Swipes. That was a shocker. I got the Thunder Badge, and with it, the ability to fly. So, I'm gonna end things here. I didn't find any of the randomized Pokemon in this video, but with all the things I did, I decided I didn't want the video to be too long. So, hopefully the next video involves me catching more than one team member, we'll see. But until next time, see you guys later.